Hi everyone, I'm Ivan Mamad, Director of InnovActive, official partner of Odoo in Mozambique. We provide consultancy in business innovation, implementation of business management systems, Odoo, and business intelligence. Our team has about 20 years of experience and we have reputable partnerships in all areas in which we operate. We are members of innov.org, an institution dedicated to researching, implementation, and dissemination of innovation-inducing practices. We implement relatively large solutions in a short period of time, between 1 to 3 months, due to the modern tools that we use. In this Odoo Experience 2021, we will present a COVID-19 exam management system built using Odoo Studio. BioLife, a new reference among COVID-19 laboratories in Mozambique. They identified an opportunity to make COVID-19 testing process more efficient, faster and safer, to reverse the scenario of the third wave of the pandemic. Since many samples were sent to the neighboring country, South Africa, the results were made available late, delaying the treatment of patients and make it possible to aggravate the disease and spread it. So they imported sophisticated equipment with high accuracy and fast processing, easy to handle and easy to learn. And then they aimed for a high performance management system that had a secure and accessible database, meet the requirements of health authorities, prevent the exchange of information on samples and results, generate reports with QR codes, include accounting and all other business processes, and had low costs and was quick to implement. Now let's look at the software.
Once the user has a valid login, the software is available in the cloud and is accessible through any device. As requested by the lab, the user is able to gather and register all the necessary information. As we see here, it is possible to register the patient's personal information in an intuitive way. As I create the patient, Eric Muster, I indicate the age, gender, email, phone number, and of course, an emergency contact. It is also possible to register various identification documents, such as passports, which contain the information I'm currently inserting, so that it can be later used to generate the automatic COVID-19 reports which are necessary to travel. After having registered the patient, I can start with the exam flow, which starts with the sales order. In this case, it was requested an urgent 2-hour PCR exam. The system automatically recognized that all medical exams are free from tax in the Mozambican legislation, therefore it only charged the exam. The order is transformed into an invoice which is confirmed and registered in the general ledger. From this stage on, the payment can finally be effected. It is important to emphasize that the system will only initiate the examination once the payment is effected. Moving on to the next stage in the exam module, recognizing that the health authorities require a record of information such as pre-existing symptoms, the system has a section where that can be done. Several symptoms can be inserted. However, in this patient's case, the only symptom was muscle pain. There is also another section where possible infections are tracked, along with the identification of people who may be at risk, such as older people or people with chronic diseases. This identification can be later used to provide immediate medical assistance to those affected. In the past 14 days, this patient has been in contact with someone who tested positive for COVID-19 and who recently arrived in the country. Also, in the past 8 days, he has been in contact with people outside of his family. Moreover, the reason of the exam must be indicated, since it's part of the tracking process. Having completed all this information in the invoice for this exam, it is automatically matched with the payment effected previously, and the exam transits from new status to paid. Once the exam is paid, the technician can simply drag the Kanban to the collection section and a barcode is generated for the sample identification, which are read by the sample processing machines, therefore avoiding exchange of exams. The drag trick also serves to move from collecting to being analyzed, making it easier for users to collect samples from one department to another. The system automatically sorts the exams by the time left to obtain the results. This exam has been passed to the end of the queue because the other exams are from the previous day and their analysis period is almost completed. The results obtained from the laboratory machines are transferred to the system, changing the stage to the tabulated results. Then is verified by the responsible technicians, changing again the stage to concluded, and if the patient has requested to receive the results by email, it is automatically sent and finally passed to the reported stage. So, let's print the report. As required by the lab, all the reports must include internal tracking information, barcodes, exam data, patient data, passport information, the result presented in multiple languages, an authorization from the Mozambican health authorities, and the QR codes, which can be used for a quick reading of the information in the fast-moving places such as airports. Here's another example of a serology test where the information is displayed similarly and including all the required information. However, in this report, two results of the IgM and the IgG are presented, along with its brief explanation in different languages. As we can see, once the test results are reported, even if they're wrong, they cannot be altered. The exam can only be altered before being reported. Here's an example where Mr. Habinba's test result is being altered and later passing to the concluded stage. After performing all the exams and completed the reports, at the end of every day, a summary of the daily exams is made, where the amount of exams performed and the total invoice revenue can be understood. On the other hand, the same information can be better explored in the accounting module. The accounting module is very complete and advanced. With this module, bank statements can be imported and reconciled with daily payments to ensure financial control. However, the same can be done through an online synchronization. This module generates analytical accounting and standard or personalized accounting reports. And here's an example of a trial balance, which is different from others due to its dynamics. This module is integrated with the exam module, like other modules that make up the laboratory solution, but which are not part of the main flow, and therefore it is not installed in this test environment. There are other modules that make up the solution. They are divided in categories such as these are the human resources management modules, skill management, payroll, attendance, planning, contracts, licensing, and others. Other modules are web pages, and there is also inventory. Now, let's take a quick look at how some of the features previously seen are built using Odoo Studio. Firstly, it is necessary to create the COVID-19 exam module, which is possible to do it in less than 1 minute using Odoo Studio by adding an app in the main dashboard. Then, we create the main model entity of what will be managed for the automatic construction of the module's entry menu. In this case, exams. There is a possibility of adding features in the creation process, as it can be seen in the immensity of possibilities. However, they must be properly chosen and applied to avoid unnecessary features that can later confuse the user. Knowing that lab exams will have multiple stages, it's easier to create pipeline stages functionality right away. Patients are registered under contacts, and it's not necessary to create another specific model for patients, since everyone who is registered in this database can have a COVID-19 test done. In this case, we add specific data fields according to the laboratory's request in a very simple way, indicating the properties of each field. One of the requests was that the patient's age was automatically calculated, and this was made through calculation formulas in Python. As the date of birth is inserted, the software indicates the age. In the case of identification documents, models must be created linked to the contact. In the passport's case, it is only necessary to link the passport to the contacts and then add the relevant data fields, including images and preview of documents. The business flow and sales order, invoice, and payment is standard in Odoo, so there is no need to customize it. It is only necessary to ensure that unpaid bills are not loaded in the exams module. In order to do this, a field, account move, with all the invoices is inserted in the exam. However, allowing only the paid invoices or paid by companies that can carry out post-payment to be associated with the exam. Gathering information in Odoo is a simple task. Just insert the necessary fields in a form, as is the case of this symptom. To allow the lab manager's autonomy to add or remove exam reasons, a configuration menu should be created where this can be done. From this menu, you can create various reasons, and in this case, it will be named Diagnosis. Just like the exams, the internship will eventually change in future, which is why we also created a menu to add and remove. Afterwards, we create automated transitions from one stage to another, after the system receives specific information to do so. Because it is possible to transition from one stage to another with the user's instruction and taking into consideration that the user can make a mistake, we created an automated transition to the initial stage. In this case, the requirements to pass from one stage to another is not satisfied. This functionality is already part of the Odoo software, and it is used to facilitate the user's work. To generate the barcode, it is necessary to change the QWeb and insert a new code line that will generate the code bar. QWeb is a templating engine or a reporting engine which can be used to create reports and web screens. Odoo allows the ordering of lists through one or more chosen attributes. In this case, it is enough to indicate the priority of the exams: top priority, minimum priority, and medium priority. Odoo Studio makes it easy to manage conditional fields, which are very used. In Odoo Studio, there's the option to indicate the visibility, obligatory, and change the conditions in the left menu. Regarding users' rights, firstly, it is necessary to create access groups from the system settings, and then create an access control list for the same groups. The test results are first indicated by the technician and then confirmed by the head technician for the result to be valid. In these circumstances, some automated actions are triggered to move through the stages and send the report by email. Automated actions of this nature are created indicating the pre- and post conditions of a given data. Creating generic reports is also simplified with Odoo. At the start, it is better to plan the layout and then copy it using Odoo. This is done to ensure that the final report comes out as expected. It is also necessary to make sure that all the information that needs to be included in the report has a corresponding field created in the system. For example, additional fields have been created to present the results in various languages. In the following part, it's also needed to add the code lines to generate the barcode and the QR code images, thus ensuring that the report can be read by scanners. It is also possible to name the reports when they're printed based on their contained data, such as patient name and exam identification code.
This project had a great impact for the customer, as they confirmed in this testimonial. Odoo gave them powerful tools to improve their business in a single system, facilitated the employees' work, helping them to provide better service to their customers, helped them create impressive reports, ensured accuracy of results, and as they have also confirmed, Odoo has been excellent at helping them stay within the company's budget. By using Odoo software, BioLife was able to bring a much-needed COVID-19 testing service to Mozambique. We at InnovActive hope to bring you other successful examples.
So, hello guys, and welcome to another talk. Right now we are having a little bit technical difficulties with Ivan. So let's give him a couple of minutes to come back. But I see a lot of people are really excited about this solution. You know, a studio. It's one of the best ways to get creative with Odoo. So I really like. I see a lot of hi from Mozambique. So amazing stuff. Hello, guys. Let's see if there's any other question. I see very useful, exactly, the power of Odoo Studio. And that is one of the main reasons we have the Studio tool. It's to come up and basically create something that maybe Odoo out of the box does not have. So I can see the powerful and imagination that Ivan came through and make this super basically super tool. I don't know if you guys have any questions regarding maybe Studio, or I can see a lot of people maybe that know Studio a little bit. For myself, I do have a little bit of experience with the tool, and I know that it can be amazing to have the flexibility of edit not only on the fly for demos and for when you're talking to clients, but actually creating links, creating new functionality. So Studio is one of the best. I think it was implemented back in V11, and at that time it was a revolution. So I don't know if you guys have any questions about Odoo Studio for right now. For innovation, for too flexible. Yeah, exactly. User friendly. Adil, you said user friendly, and it's one of the. I always say that a studio is very similar to editing a web, basically a web when you're dragging and dropping fields. It's very, very similar. Of course, it does have a lot of like a steep learning curve. You get the basics, but you can really dive deep into Odoo Studio and the capabilities. So I don't know if you guys have not tried Odoo Studio. You can always start a demo database, a demo trial, and actually install Studio and use it for a couple of days so you can get the hang of it. And of course, one of um, the main focus points of Odoo Studio is that it's actually writing code for you. So people say like, how does exactly Odoo Studio work? Well, on the back end, it's writing code and it's making all these connections. So you don't even have to be a developer or know any programming languages to get the most and get a studio started. So you don't have to be a developer to be using this tool. And Ivan showcase how something as complex and as needed as a testing COVID-19 program was. So he thought about let's make it with Studio. So that's a flexibility. Thank you, Anurag. He says the software is very interesting. Mozambique needs more software like this. It is exactly what the labs needed to improve and make the procedures managing and more efficient. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Francie, for the comment. And it's amazing, you know. At the start, giving the studio the tools, or giving basically the tools that programmers need, it is a perfect way to come up with needed and urgent solutions. I think that is the takeaway here. COVID hit, and basically there was no software for COVID-19. So having amazing programmers and having amazing people like Ivan coming up with solutions and creating something that was not there was definitely amazing. So I don't know exactly if if Ivan is having any fix right now for his internet connection. He might not exactly come back right now. So we're gonna wrap it up right now. Right? We're gonna wrap it up. If you guys have any questions, of course, we're gonna put in the contact for Ivan down below and in the description. And of course, thank you so much for being here. And as always,